What's up, guys? Andre here, and we're... let me redo that.
Go for it.
What's up, guys? Andre here, and we are at the E3 show floor, or somewhere at E3.
Media room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And thought we'd give our quick impressions of the Nintendo Spotlight, because we saw quite a few games, some announcements, some announcements with really nothing else to it.
Yeah.
And also, we are actually watching the Metroid 3DS, Metroid Samus Returns trailer right now, or the gameplay they're playing right now.
Yeah, on the treehouse.
Yeah. So, highlight. What was your favorite thing of the Spotlight?
Oh man.
I mean, it has to be Mario.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
I mean, as much as I loved everything else that they showed about this, that Mario trailer just blew it all away.
I loved how, I think we all thought it was like going to be like a Monster Hunter type thing at first with a
Yeah.
dinosaur, and
Yeah.
then it's like, what the hell, there's a Mario cap up there?
Yeah.
I never, everyone knows I went deep in on that analysis for the game. I don't think, I didn't see it coming. The hat
Nope.
thing, I don't think anyone saw it coming. With the hat being able to possess different enemies and creatures in the game, that is like so off the wall, and like I love that. Like, this game I was already in love with, and it's taking it to the next step so far, it seems.
You realize your new analysis has to be like 12 hours minimum.
Oh my god.
Minimum.
I'm really, I mean, people get excited for E3, like, I'm dreading everything
Yeah.
about this right now.
Yeah, no, it's going to be intense because there's some really interesting worlds on display there. We got to see, of course, we're seeing more of New Donk City. Mario has different outfits. There's purposes for the coins. Like, there's so much about this game that really shows like Nintendo just knows how to make Mario stand out. Like how do they go from space? Possession, apparently.
Right.
Well, and I'm intrigued by the story here because we now know that Pauline is the mayor of New Donk City.
Yeah.
Like, the approach they're taking here, now the Donkey Kong connections make more sense.
Yeah, it does.
So, what are we looking at here? Like, it's just weird that they're officially kind of confirming Pauline as part of this overall universe. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, the Treehouse did confirm that those rabbits are wedding planners for Bowser. So
good.
that's
Evil
great.
wedding planners.
Evil wedding
Yeah.
Which are better than no wedding planners, apparently.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
No, the game is like just off the wall insanity, and that's what I love about it. Like they are doing new things here. That's why I'm like, switch it up, right? That's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hats off to the developers for going above and beyond. I mean, Zelda had its chemistry and physics engine. These guys are now have possession. I mean, and the fact that you can possess a guy like a bullet bill, but you have to be careful because they'll explode. You can't stay possessed too long.
Yeah, and I kind of thought I was over Amiibo, but I kind of I love that
They look
Dapper
great.
Mario
Yeah.
and Pimp Bowser Amiibo.
Like
That's
both Mario and Bowser
they're
proposing,
so
and Peach is like,
good.
what?
Yeah, I might have to pick those up.
Those look pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Now, you did have one issue with Mario Odyssey, Andre.
What was that?
That was the UI.
Oh yeah, I thought the UI didn't look that great. Like it looks unfinished.
Which
So,
it might be.
Yeah,
I mean,
it could be.
it
Yeah,
could
like,
be,
like
yeah.
the health and then the coin.
It looked a little basic.
Yeah,
like not
well,
very.
Well, it looked basic and intrusive too a little bit. Like it was way too big for what
okay.
it offered. I thought so. We'll see.
Yeah.
That super minor complaint. So
Right.
Speaking of coins, they're different on every level now, and they actually have a use.
Yeah,
That's nice.
There's going to be
Yeah.
two different shops, one for regular coins, one for the level-specific coins, and they're tied to your lives, and that's like no lives anymore.
I love that.
It's just drains your
Yeah,
coins.
I'm glad Nintendo is watching the top 5 things that they need to do with Mario because they're nailing it like
Yeah.
across the board pretty much.
I have to say that 2D segment with
That looks
the
great.
Sombrero Mario Pixel Mario 1 sprite, so
Like,
cool.
It looks
I'm-
so much more fun than
Yeah.
the similar segments in Link Between Worlds.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, well,
I
I guess
love that.
because Link Between Worlds isn't a platformer, so it's a
Right.
little different. But yeah, I love that. I
Like,
mean, everything about this game is looking
The,
so
yeah, the
cool.
interplay between 2D and 3D, like
Yeah.
it reminded me a little bit of Galaxy and how you had the 2D segments as well, but they're going like full 2D on this,
Yeah,
like straight up
exactly.
flat 2D.
And I thought it was kind of funny. A fan on Twitter pointed out that now Mario, in all his adventures, has been collecting suns, moons, and stars, which is kind of
Yeah.
as a nice little not intentional nod. But it's kind
Yeah.
of funny.
That is pretty stellar.
Yeah,
You
it's
did
stellar,
mention
wow.
from your you did mention from your analysis, like, ooh, even more moon stuff.
Right, no, I mean, I mentioned, hey, there's a weird moon connection going on in this game, and now you're
Right.
collecting moons, so who knows what's going on there. All right, well, we'll talk more about Mario. We'll be playing it later on, so we'll have more to say later on tonight, probably, with our full discussion.
Right.
Let's move on to perhaps the next biggest thing, which I think might be the Metroid Prime 4 review, or announcement.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
we don't know
review.
anything about the game.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just the music came on. Like there's not too many people in the media room, but immediately people were freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I called it, really. Like, as soon as I saw the ending for Federation Force, that little teaser, like, I knew Prime was going to be coming at some point, hoping for it, and... I was really hoping we'd get to see some sort of gameplay, but as it went on, it was very obvious that just wasn't going to be the case. But kudos on Nintendo for holding us over with Samus's Return.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is a nice surprise. A new 3DS game, even if I don't want to play my 3DS anymore. Yeah, it looks good. Like, I didn't expect a remake of Metroid 2, so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's really great, and it really does cast that whole another Metroid 2 remake situation in a completely different
really
light
does.
now. Like, completely different. And you actually brought up a good point. Obviously, I'm super hyped about Metroid Prime 4, but you said, Andre, that it's a little concerning that we still haven't seen footage of what is Retro's new title.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think on the one hand, like, they have to have some major progress done. They presumably been working on this for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Tropical Freeze. And was it confirmed that Retro was making it?
It has to be.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, why didn't we see anything at all? Like, why
Yeah.
not just a little snippet or something?
Yeah.
So it felt like those kind of announcements feel a little bit cheap to me.
Right,
Like
right.
they get the wave of good publicity,
Yeah.
but we get nothing out of it besides the fact we know it's coming. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they did the same thing with Brawl, though, so...
Yeah, that's true. They
I
did.
mean, and
Yeah,
Brawl turned out all right.
Yeah.
But Brawl literally wasn't even in development at that point.
That is true.
That's true.
That is a little
Which,
different here.
yeah.
There's no way that Retro hasn't made some significant progress.
Exactly.
Like, I have a
Right.
feeling like we'll see more as we go along. But it actually, to me, like it sucks that we didn't see footage, but it also makes sense because now they're able to really put the focus on the gameplay from Metroid 2 remake,
Right.
Rather than Metroid Prime 4, which is, of course, as soon as that's out, that's all anybody's going to be talking about.
It's true.
Yeah,
Right.
And Nintendo at E3 likes to really focus on this year usually. Maybe they're just going to save it for next year, but at the same time, they're trying to tide fans over.
Yeah, and kind of on that note, that actually brings up a really good point. So maybe in Nintendo's defense, we did get on them for Federation Force. Like, they should have announced this along with Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing here. They announced Metroid Prime 4, then they show off Metroid 3DS.
Right.
So, like, that way people, like, they aren't going to be like, hey, where's Metroid, why don't we get proper Metroid Prime title?
Right.
Even though a 2D game's pretty hype, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they're kind of covering all their bases here, so...
Yeah, I'm glad we're getting the best of both worlds. I
Yeah.
mean, how many years have I predicted a 2D Metroid for 3DS? And it finally happens.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that's happening. I didn't call Metroid Prime 4, so that's also incredibly exciting. One thing I did call that I wish I'd been wrong on was no Smash.
Yeah.
I had a feeling no Smash, but
Yeah.
the more I think
I
about it in
kept trying
hindsight,
to prepare you.
well, hey, I did predict that it wouldn't be here, so
Yeah.
I wasn't, But in hindsight, the more I think about it, that would have taken away attention and completely overshadowed
Everything
the
else.
3 games they do want to have tournaments for. Smash would have completely overshadowed.
Yeah, it
ours.
totally would, yeah.
Splatoon, yeah.
No
So it's
question.
probably for the best they didn't.
Absolutely, and as you know, as a fan of the Xenoblade series, I did not expect them to really start. Like, we got that sizzle reel with ARMS and Splatoon and all that, but also Rocket League, which I know you guys are excited
That's
for.
awesome.
I was a little bit disappointed, or not disappointed. Like, I was upset at myself because I meant to predict that in the predictions
Oh, you
discussion.
did?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure you did.
Yeah.
Hey, I've mentioned it before in one of our discussions, I think. No, that's awesome.
That
That's
is
great to
so
see.
cool.
With
And
Mario
perfect
Gear.
fit.
Yeah, perfect
Yeah,
fit.
Mario
No, it's a
Gear.
great
Perfect
platform
And
for it.
Yeah.
crossplay.
They said
Yeah.
more surprises later. I'm going to guess that there will be Mario Kart like vehicles later on.
That'd
I
be
wouldn't be
cool.
surprised. That'd be really
Pimp,
cool.
Pimp Bowser car.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want to get Bowser
Oh,
Kart.
man.
And speaking of Xenoblade, Derek, before we move on from that, I'm going to give myself props and slops. I did predict that
Yeah,
it would
you
still
did.
be this year.
It's definitely going to be December. It's
Yeah,
gonna,
it has
it's
to be.
definitely
Yeah.
going to be December, and the game looks freaking gorgeous.
It does.
Like, I am so excited for that, and now I really need to start streaming Xenoblade, the original Xenoblade Chronicles, a lot to be this this game.
Yes,
So,
yep.
oh goody.
So, oh yeah.
I was going to say I think breakout surprise for this spotlight, even maybe beyond Metroid Prime 4 for me personally, was Kirby.
Yeah, nobody guessed Kirby, really.
I didn't see that coming.
I know.
Because they
Either.
threw us a curveball because they did say a 4-player Kirby game was coming, but they said for 3DS.
Yeah.
And this is obviously not. This is on Switch, and
well, doesn't that imply that 3DS one's still coming too?
maybe
They're
it's on
two
both.
separate
Maybe
ones.
it's on
Yeah,
both.
I'm thinking
Like
two
single
separate
player.
games.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2 separate games.
Maybe
Yeah.
2 separate games, maybe on both, sort of like Fire Emblem Warriors.
That's possible.
That kind of thing. But to see it running on there, like the vibrant colors, and the fact that they, rather than playing as DDD and Meta Knight, this time you're taking over the enemy characters, sort of like Superstar,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Or Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's ability mixing
No
too.
hat.
The ability mixing, I think, is back.
Is there ability?
I think so. I thought that's what I saw when I,
I
was
don't think
glancing at the trailer.
I don't think I saw that.
maybe
at all.
not. Okay, I
I'll
gotta
take
go
a
back and
closer
watch
look.
again.
Obviously, there's a long list of analysis to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
so far we've been pretty busy.
I love when they all formed a giant ball and started crushing
Yeah.
everything in its way.
I would say the more surprising announcement was the Yoshi game on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
A successor to Yoshi's Woolly World, it seems like.
A kind of like Yoshi Papercraft, but Yoshi
Yeah.
himself did not change in any way, kind of like Yarn Yoshi does.
Right.
So it's a Yoshi game, but the graphical style is gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous
Yeah.
before, it's still gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, I really was a huge fan of Yoshi's Woolly World, and I know that we kind of differ on that, but I like Yoshi's World a lot, and if this is another game in that vein, I am perfectly happy with that.
Yeah,
I'm super hyped.
Yeah, not everyone's itching for that wool though, but
Wow.
Yeah. And Andre, you weren't totally sold on it yet?
I mean, I wasn't sold on it at all.
Yeah.
I didn't like Yoshi's Woolly World, and
Right.
this looks even slower paced with the 3D aiming and like A-gaming. I mean, I'll remain open to it, but I'm also, like, even though I like the art style, I can appreciate in isolation. Like, it looks good.
Right.
I don't like it as it applies to this game, or Yoshi games in general.
I'm going to remember this and play this back for you when it's time for the review. So you can't be like, I want to review Yoshi. Like, no, you weren't excited. I want to review.
I mean, I don't want to review
Okay,
it.
great. I'm gonna-
That's all mine. I
Yeah.
can definitely see that right now. I did like that little moment in the trailer, though, when he had like the Triceratops head on top of him and he was barreling through stuff. Like, new stuff, you know? Just good to see.
yeah, I'm gonna hold judgment until I actually play it. There you go.
Right.
So.
Derek, you said it's all yours. I was saying that because I want it to be mine. I'm excited for this.
Fine.
Yeah, right?
We'll see what time it comes out
Yeah,
and all that.
yeah.
But we also did get, I said we'd get some sort of stuff about DLC Pack 2.
Yeah.
Not as much as I was hoping, because all they did was show off. And actually, while we're recording this, the treehouse is on the background. Looks like an Metroid amiibo, like an actual Metroid.
A squishy Metroid.
That is
amiibo.
really cool. Yeah, it's
that
like
is-
a squishy Metroid.
That is and
that
a new
Samus amiibo looks
and a
great.
new Samus amiibo. So that is
Wow.
awesome. So hey, everybody complaining that Nintendo doesn't think Metroid's alive anymore. Hey, we got it.
Yeah.
Well, the Metroids are extinct, Derek. This is
No,
a
that
remake.
well, we're in the process of making them extinct.
Super cool.
So that's really neat. Going back to that, we of course got more of the Zelda DLC, the name for DLC Pack 2, but nothing really shown of it. I will say, just mentioning DLC Pack 1, I like how this challenge mode is actually very different from what we've seen before. It is actual challenges here and there.
It looked interesting. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how they should have announced it with the trailer initially.
Yeah.
It looks like it's like a more significant, chunk of gameplay than we maybe thought at first.
Yeah.
Definitely, there seems like there's more to the Master Trials than just like, oh, here's a Cave of Trials type thing. It seems like it's more involved than that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we got a little bit more Fire Emblem Warriors. Although I can definitely see fans not enjoying this trailer, because the reason they said they didn't bring from other games characters from the games, not Fates, Awakening, and the original, is because they didn't want to have too many sword users, and every single character in that damn trailer
Yeah.
is a sword user. What?
I can see the fans maybe turning on this game just because the character selection, at least in terms of what they've advertised they're pulling from, isn't really what people want, I don't think. So I don't know. I can see people turning on it, but we'll see. I
Yeah.
mean, I hope it turns out great. I loved Hyrule Warriors, and I'm not as big a Fire Emblem fan, so I'm not going to be as critical, I guess, of the characters making it in. But of course, I want this to satisfy as many Fire Emblem fans as possible.
Yeah, it just seems like rote, boring choices. Although props for female Corrin rather than male Corrin.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah. So, other than that, I mean, going over it, there's actually not a ton of announcements. They're just all really good announcements.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there are some more announcements presumably coming in the spotlight over the treehouse next few
yeah.
days.
we'll
But yeah,
keep
there
an
wasn't
eye on
like
that.
there wasn't necessarily a ton of new stuff in the direct itself. So I guess let's go over our final impressions or final grade. I guess what would you give the Spotlight itself? So we're not counting Metroid as part of this or the Metroid 3DS game.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Spotlight itself, what lower grade would you give it?
I don't want to go first.
All right, I'll go B plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was good. I think it was quite good. But some of the announcements didn't quite gel with me, like Yoshi. Metroid, I wish we had actually seen on Switch. But Mario is freaking amazing. But I expect it to be amazing. So
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? Before we go forward with this, we should mention one more thing, and that is that the Pokemon Company confirmed
Oh, yeah, they
there
did.
is
Oh,
a
good
Pokemon
point.
mainline RPG in development
That's a good
for
point.
the Switch,
That's
a big
which is
one.
a big deal.
I feel like they did announce that because there was such
Yeah.
blowback about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah.
So I'm not too surprised about that.
Right. So it was nice to have the confirmation, though.
Exactly.
true.
It's
Yeah.
good to see it. All that. As far as a grade, I would give it an A minus because I did like everything that they showed here. I want to play all of it, and it's just a great step forward and made me excited. But yeah, I just thought it was good. I do wish we had seen actual gameplay of Metroid Prime 4, but I'll live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to agree with the B plus. Just pleasantly surprised Kirby, the Metroid Prime 4 being announced. Pokemon coming to Switch and how Mario Odyssey looked better than what I thought it was going to
Yeah,
be great.
it went
yeah.
beyond expectations.
It's a solid A- for me. Really excited about Mario. Super hyped about Kirby. I love Woolly World, of course. So I'm excited about Yoshi. Got a new Pokemon mainline game coming for Switch. Metroid Prime 4. I'm happy. So really, the only disappointments for me were no Smash and no Mother 3. But I wasn't really expecting either. So yeah, A-.
All right, perfect. Cool. Seems like they had a pretty good show this year, and we'll be playing these games very soon and should have much more on them. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned to GameXplain for lots more from the E3 show floor and everything else Nintendo 2. Catch you later. Bye.